Lord Arma, today, good morning. Today, I'll talk about forest restoration and how to preserve what we have left. You see, in this world, we have forests full of great trees. We, the humans, are in our expansion destroying them slowly but steadily. We procure to expand to places where there are no forests but stable ground, even though procuring the materials and resources of the forest and the woods and all that is still a thing. Now, to restore the forest takes a long time because it was destroying is really easy and fast. Building up and growing is very slow. It requires stability, steadiness, and it is slow. For a tree to grow takes a lot of time. Some species are faster than others to grow, but they require certain environmental variables of favor for them to actually prosper as they should. If we change the environment, if we change them from the environment that they are currently accustomed to, they won't prosper as fast or as they should, or maybe they will prosper faster but lacking some other things because they adapt to the environment, and all changes influences who we are, for better or for worse. So they may develop certain things differently if they are breeded or grown in a different environment. To reforest an area is very hard because it truly requires a lot of attention, energy, dedication, love, compassion, and nurturing continuously by those that plant, because it is not a natural process after all. It was not something that happened by itself because nature and the environment and everything provided such things. We're trying to modify the environment. We are trying to do something. The same way we destroy the environment in our expansion as humans, we're trying to make the environment better as humans. So we need to put some work and effort and dedication and stuff into doing so. It's not just, go there, plant it, and I live. If it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, who knows? Very rarely that happens because it was something we created, we made, and we need to sustain. It was not a natural process after all. So we are messing with the ecosystem for an improvement when we try to reforest, and it's fine. But we have to see the conditions if it is worth it to forest or reforest in a desert, for example. Very hard. It is very rough for a new offspring to grow in there because of the environmental issues that we have, and it requires more taking care of it till it is at a certain age, the tree, and only then it can be left by itself, because otherwise it won't grow well, and things like that, because we are at certain stages in life of the environment and the elements, and we're trying to mess with that. So reforestation in a place where naturally decay has taken place is very rough. It requires a lot of taking care of it by humans, like shadowing. Sometimes we need to shadow the tree with something so the sun don't destroy it and it prospers, like with some I don't know the name, but some mesh like things, so only a few layers of light come through, things like that. Taking care of it, watering, giving love, attention. It's really hard for humans to restore what we destroy in this world, what God already made, what was He proud before many of us. Many trees are older than many people, have hundreds of years. And it takes just an hour to destroy such a life. An hour compared to hundreds of years, of growing, of being there. It's not sustainable. Even though we try to mitigate those things by reforestation, we deep down in ourselves know it's impossible to reclaim all that. So it will take longer than our lifespans. A single tree is such a loss, yet we need them for daily lives and for stuff. Not so much now that we depend on petroleum, plastic and stuff. To be honest and fair, petroleum is helping a lot the forest in a way, because now we make everything out of plastics, and even the tables, the chairs, some stuff that used to be made out of wood. Petroleum is a really good, the plastics and petrochemicals are a really good option to preserve ourselves a little bit longer, because with the sun and with the heat we have the petroleum for as long as there is water. So it's a good way to proceed and leave the forest alone by itself. Try to do what forests do their own thing. Reforestation is very, very hard. I mean, it is beautiful to plant trees, don't get me wrong, and give some life and sustenance for them, for the future. It's beautiful. But at the pace that we are destroying the world compared to that, it's like a mockery to the world. I would try to do that at this point, instead of just respecting and preserving what we have left, for real. Anyway, we still gotta try and reforest the forest. I would recommend to go very far away from people and civilization and try to plant stuff there, and you will see what the environment tells you about it. It usually refuses, to add more from afar to what already is. It's very rough to start going that far away from who we are. You see, there are certain species of plants that can cope to live with us, like grass. stuff like that. Certain species that still in the cities thrive, even though the cities try to mutilate the trees too. For example, many citric trees don't produce seed in the cities, and those who do sometimes happen to be very acidic, like oranges and stuff, because the city's environment and energies aren't very nice. The tree will always try to absorb all around the energies and give back the same thing that they are sold, that they sustain on. But in this filtering process that they have, the fruits tell us a tale about the tree and what it had to do, you know. So we procure to expand while at the same time preserve the environment. Now we can do. I recommend seedling to plant seedlings and try to produce new life. Because it's very rough to bring new life in these times. But if it can make it through, it will withstand many stuff that we have to live through time. Unlike using all life, like a branch of a tree to plant trees, and stuff like that. In Spanish they call it injertos. Those thrive, but it's very rough for them compared to new life. I was nurtured from the start in these environments. It's rougher to get a better yield though, because it's an extension of an old life. It's nothing new. After all, it has already a momentum. It does help to preserve itself, the main tree, to preserve the rest of the branches that were planted all around. But at the same time, it makes it rougher on the main tree. Because it's an extension of the same life. It's better to produce new life, new sprouts, and nurture them in such an environment that we are in, to produce a better outcome, to prepare them since the beginning for what is coming. I love that one. It's way better than just prospering the same one, But it is what it is, life. We try one way or another in so many ways. And I think the characteristics of what we are going through are such that even if we plant trees, because we have to try. We have to cope with the truth. Hundreds of years are very hard to, what's this word? To amend for, It's rough to balance the ecosystem, to produce better outcomes from who we are as a collective. It's very easy to work in oneself and know what is right and what isn't for someone who has walked the path already and can see through oneself. But to influence the whole world or the whole body of the universe for an improvement is very rough. The more we do, the more opposition we find. The more we try to do the right thing, the more we realize how hard it is, because it takes a long time for life to be what life is. But it takes such a short time to destroy everything and just That's why goodness is forever. It's good to plant trees, and bad is just temporal. Like destroying the forest, it's temporal. Just like that, boom, it's not there anymore. What happened in Mars is the same. That red dwarf, a red planet, not a red dwarf, because I know they call the suns red dwarfs too. But now, those are diminishing the intensity. We call like that. Anyway, uh, Mars is a great example of what happened. No water anymore. Only deep down there is some sort of moisture sometimes. But what's the point, right? You gotta go very deep to find life or something. It's a metaphor for heaven and hell, you know. Why do we wait? If we have heaven, if we were on Eden already, why did we do what we do? Why we did what we did? You know? Why we had to go all the way to hell to find what we were from beginning with? Mars is a great example, you know. Still try, humans, plant trees, nurture them, try to preserve what we already have, because that's more important. Nature takes care of itself. Just respect it, you know. But when we mess with it and then try to fix what we already did, it's very rough. It's a little bit like too late, you know. And we spend more than what we get from it now.